Hello everyone, this is Tim, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about my nostalgia that I have for Rolemaster, and actually, to be specific, the Rolemaster Standard System. RMSS is the abbreviation that the people on the ice forums and things go by. So Rolemaster was one of the first big systems that I ever was involved with. We had played Black Box D&D for a little while, not very long at all. Whenever the adventures in the box ran out, I think we stopped playing it. I don't even know whatever happened to it. Probably just got thrown away. We played some adventures for Lord of the Rings adventure game, and I think in the back of that there was an advert for Rolemaster. So we started picking up those, and we played that basically until 3rd edition D&D came out. So we played Rolemaster for a long time. My memory is kind of fuzzy as far as how many years, but I would be surprised there's anywhere from 5 to 6 years of solid Rolemaster. That was our game of choice. The the ladies at the local gas station that had a Xerox machine there loved us because we'd come in and just drop all these like dimes and quarters and stuff on the counter and say we wanted well, we're gonna get about, I don't know, like 200 copies of things, because we were very completist. We loved to have all the weapons charts that our characters had. So if our characters had 5 different weapons, we had all the puncture criticals, slash criticals, piercing criticals. The one character was like a werebear, so we had a claw attack table for him. Everything you could possibly want to reference for that character, we like to have a photocopy of. So if there were specific rules for spells, all the spell lists, we wanted to have all those photocopied so you can check off which ones you had. So our character sheets, were kind of like a pretty thick pamphlet, like something you might get from a job trying to teach you various things. Turn to page 30 where you'll find the piercing table, But that's how we like to do it. We like to be very completist on how many skills there were, so we made our own customized character sheets. And I believe my brother was in tech at the time, and he had access to this, I don't know, printer, I guess, and he just printed off, probably about 60 different character sheets for us. So even back then, we had our own customized character sheets. I think he made them up in some Excel program, something like that. But we spent a lot of time playing Rolemaster. We really enjoyed all the wacky and crazy and violent and deadly combat results. I think I was the biggest fan of the spell lists and how they worked. What kind of spells you get, the different open and closed lists of spells. I think I'm going to walk around here a little bit. Do the same old G style. Hopefully I don't fall. But we had a lot of fun with Rolemaster. I think the real reason I stopped playing is that I went off to college, and my brother and his friends. Oh man, look how deep the snow is. My brother and his friends were left back in Pennsylvania as I went to Wisconsin, and they, I don't know, they sort of kept on going without me, I guess. Wow, I can't believe how deep the snow is. So we spent a lot of time, especially on the weekends. Go to my shed here, and wow, we would have entire weekends devoted to playing various games that were run by myself or my brother. Occasionally one of the neighborhood kids would take the GM chair, but yeah, it was usually just me or him. And we had a lot of fun, and I don't think we actually, I guess we sort of had our own settings, but they weren't nearly as fleshed out as you would say some of these other settings are, now that people tend to make. They were sort of like one-shots that were connected to each other. I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, some of the things that we really liked. I think we liked to have various weapons for our characters, and we came up with some pretty wacky and gonzo, like, magic items. I remember I had a paladin. I can't remember what the name of it is in Rolemaster, but he, his name was Percival, very original on my part, I know. And he had this holy weapon that was designed to kill demons, but it also had a slight benefit against undead and those sorts of things. But I think one of its special powers was holy holy spray of holy water, I guess. A magical spray. It was sort of like a super soaker that was a sword. So that was kind of interesting. I can't believe how deep this is back here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. So, do you guys have any sort of nostalgia for various systems? Something that you grew up with, something that you spent a lot of time with. I can remember being down in my basement room. I wouldn't call it really my bedroom for a long time because it took us like 6 or 7 months to build it. Once we got to a point that we could actually play in it, we did, but I didn't sleep down there for a long time. And it sucked. As soon as I got done, I lived in it for like 2 months, and then I went off to college. But we spent a lot of time in that room down there. It's sort of like the walls would fade away, and we'd become our characters, have a lot of fun, have a lot of salsa and chips. That was our thing. I don't know. It was a good time. We like to see, what kind of different character professions we could be, what kind of difference that had on the way we played. I don't know. It was just a good time overall. I kind of miss playing with those guys. I don't talk to 2 of the players anymore. They were neighborhood friends. And for a long time, me and my brother didn't talk because of various things that happened. But, I'm starting to talk to my brother again, so that's kind of neat. So I think maybe that's having me think a little bit about Rolemaster. Kind of wonder if I'm ever going to play it again. Because, like I said, I'm more of a rules-light GM. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I think I saw Runeslinger's video. He was a little bit nostalgic. And it just got me thinking a little bit. So, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll head off to some Xerox machine, maybe at a library or something. Lay down my Rolemaster Standard System. Print off a few copies of spell law, various, spell lists that I'm going to use. Crank off some copies of some weapons. I don't know. Run a Rolemaster game. Might be kind of fun to see what happens. I'm sure I'd have house rules now. And back then we really didn't have house rules. We didn't understand what the hell it was saying. So we actually tried to do it as best as possible, and our version was, I don't know, I guess it was close in some ways, but really Rolemaster for us boiled down into the skills, combat charts, cool spells, cool magic items, and the rest was all us. So, we made Rolemaster do what we wanted it to do, and that's it. We didn't stress too much about it. I do remember spending a long time making characters. And it wasn't necessarily the, what was your background kind of stuff. It was accounting. Some of the skills used 3 different stats. And at every level, you had the option to bump your stats up. So if you think about that for a second, let's say you bumped 2 stats up, or 1 stat. You have to go through and re-add up all those different stat bonuses for all those different skills. So it was kind of a... I don't think there's a kind of an equivalent to this in other games. I don't know. But in Rolemaster, whenever we would level up, there would be this sort of groan, like, oh, because everyone knew that we were going to have basically like an accounting math session to add up all the various skills and things. And, in hindsight, we probably didn't have to, update all the skills we didn't use that much, but we were just dumb kids. We just thought, okay, we got to be completist about this, and our character sheets have to be the most accurate they can be. Maybe we were a little bit too OCD or anal. I don't know, but I don't know. I think maybe one of these days I'm gonna get down the Rolemaster books and I don't know, just read them from start to finish and see if anything pops into my head for a campaign. If there are any Rolemaster players out there, feel free to share your thoughts about the game, how you experienced it. I'd love to hear about that. All right, that's it.